Hello everybody, my name's Kyle, I'm 3639, welcome back to another video. Today in this one it's going to be another deck profile video, and in this one it's going to be on the Phantom Knights. Yes, this deck is now seeing a little bit more play now, thanks to a lot of the expensive cards in the deck being reprinted in the 2021 Mega Teams, such as Torn Scales here, and then also just a lot of people are figuring out, since, you know, the format hasn't changed and stuff like that. The OCG is taking advantage of Phantom Knights not being, being an underrated deck. So the TCG is taking a look at it, and I'm so glad it is, because this deck is so good. I like the interactions in this deck. I fucking love it. But without further, before we get into the deck profile, I do have a couple things to say here. We are playing a 43 card deck, as you can see here. Now, a lot of people might think, why not just cut 3, get it to 40? I've seen a lot of Phantom Knight decks actually just play 50 card decks. So honestly, this is on the lower end of the scale. I like to play a lower range of decks. I think 50 might be a little too much in there. And number two, the reason why I'm actually not playing 50 cards is because I'm not playing the Dragoon engine in this thing. I just feel like this deck can do enough without Dragoon. Yes, Dragoon does help out. It can help out, setting up a really great board. You can also end up finishing off games a little bit more quickly and stuff like that. But in the grand scheme of things, I feel like this deck can do enough without Dragoon in the first place. So yeah, with those things out of the way, now let's get into the deck profile. And I'll be showing the combos as well. That'll be in the description down below. If you just want to skip to the combos, I'll put the time link in the description down below. But without further ado, let's get into the deck profile, shall we? So starting off with just our hand traps, we're playing Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, and Infinite Impermanence here. That's just our generic hand traps that we are playing in the deck. I mean, you can switch out maybe like Veiler with Ghost Bell if you want to. It just depends on what you see more often, but I'm playing Veiler right now instead of Ghost Bell. But yeah, without getting into the actual deck here, we're playing the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales. We are playing 3 of, as this is probably one of the best cards in the entire deck that's got reprinted, and the reason why it's a lot more affordable to play this deck now. So yeah, its effect is you can discard 1 card, send 1 Phantom Knight card from your deck to the graveyard, except for Torn Scales himself. And then if this card's in the graveyard and a Phantom Knight card is banished, you can end up spell summoning this card out from your graveyard as well. So it gets you Phantom Knights into your graveyard and can spell summon himself back out from graveyard as well to keep further extending as well. Very good card, and you need to play 3 of this card no matter what. This card, very, very good. We are playing 3 Phantom Knights of Silent Boots here. Just another extender. If you control a Phantom Knight card, you can spell summon this card. You can also search you a Phantom Knight spell or trap, so something like Fog Blade or your rank up Magic Force and stuff like that. Very good card. Again, we're playing 3 of it as well because you want to see this in hand just to keep further extending. We are playing 3 Tour Guide from the Underworld because, again, this is probably a really good starter. It's a 1-card starter and stuff like that to get you into your place and stuff. Very, very, very good card. Yeah, Tour Guide is Tour Guide. It's been out for a while. A lot of people know what this card does. This card is normal summon. Spell summon a level 3 or level 3 Fiend monster from your hand or deck, but its effects are negated. You cannot use it as synchro material. That's fine. We're using it as XYZ material. We're playing 3 Kagamucha Knight because you're playing a shit ton of level 3s in the deck. As long as you normal summon a level 3 and you have this in hand, you can spell summon Kagamucha Knight. Helps you chain block the Tour Guide from the Underworld as well. You need to, again, you're just playing 3 of this because you're playing a shit ton of level 3s. You're going to happen to normal summon a level 3. Kagamucha Knight is going to get you another extender to help you get into your play straight away. We are playing 1 Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak. Now, this is just a 1 of in my deck. A lot of people might be playing 2 of this. I'm fine with only playing 1 of because it does nothing in your hand. You would rather just send it to graveyard off of like Torn Scales effect or Rusty Bardiche effect or Cherubides effect because, again, it does nothing in hand. You really don't want to see it in hand. You'd rather just see it in graveyard. I'm only using it for its graveyard effect, and that's just to search out a Phantom Knight card from your deck to your hand. It's a very, very good card, yes, but I think playing it at 1 for me is perfectly fine. We're playing 1 Phantom Knights of Ragged Gloves. This is, again, just for its graveyard effect. It does nothing in your hand. That's why we're only playing it at 1. Its graveyard effect is banish this card. Send 1 Phantom Knights card from your deck to the graveyard just to keep sending stuff and then getting your banished collected up for something like Levianeer and stuff like that as well. And then for our last Phantom Knight card, we're playing 1 Phantom Knights of Stain Greaves. We're playing this, but just as another Phantom Knight name. If you want to play 2 Ancient Cloak, You can throw Stain Greaves as you can replace Stain Greaves as the second Ancient Cloak target. I just like this because it can help you further out if you end up drawing a lot of your Phantom Knight cards. Because if this card's in your graveyard, you can banish it to spell summon a Phantom Knight monster from your hand. And then also, if it's in your hand, you can end up special summoning itself out. If a Phantom Knight is special summoned to the field, you can special summon this card out as well. I really do like Stain Greaves, but again, I see why a lot of decks don't play Stain Greaves, but I feel like this is a good card just to play it as a one-of, just as another name for a Phantom Knight monster. But yeah, that's it for the Phantom Knights. Now just to other generic one-ofs. We have Graph and Seer as one-of, just for your Tour Guide stuff, and also for your Cherubini as well. We're playing a Psychic Wielder and a Psychic Tracker. We play a shit ton of level 3s. Oh my god. So it makes sense to play Psychic Wielder and Tracker, because if you control level 3, you can special summon themselves out onto the field. So yeah, just playing those. We're playing one Danger Jackalope and one Danger Tatsunoko as our limited to 1 cards here. They're very fucking good cards. Again, they're level 3s. If you end up discarding them through something like Torn Scales effect, you also gain the advantage to special summon other dangers out as well. Very good cards. They have multiple ways you can use them into the deck. You can use their effects to maybe get that draw 1 and stuff, or you can just use it for like a Torn Scales discard and still get their effect and stuff like that. But that's it for the monsters. Now let's get into the spells and traps. We are playing 3 Crossout Designator. Yes, this card is out, and I am playing it. This card is very, very good. And the one thing this deck has a problem with is trying to do play through hand traps, and I feel like Crossout will help you out in this case. Again, I'm not playing Nib in the main. I feel like a lot of people won't main deck that. That's more of a side deck thing. So I'm not playing Nib in the main. I'm more just playing it in the side deck. So Crossout comes very more important in Game 2, Game 3, once they side in the stuff like Artifact Lancia and Nibiru against you. I feel like Crossout becomes way more important in those matchups, but I'm just having it in the main deck because we also have Ash Veiler and Imperm, generic hand traps people play in their main deck, and Crossout can stop that as well. So we're playing 3 Crossout Designator, of course. We're playing 2 Emergency Teleport. Let me just move that there. 2 Emergency Teleport because we're playing a Psychic Wielder and Psychic Tracker. So playing 2 Emergency Teleport just makes sense to keep further extending here. It's nice to see this card at 2. And we're not using it for virtual stuff. We're using it for Phantom Knight stuff, which is honestly surprising. But again, we play the Wielder, we play the Tracker, might as well play the Emergency Teleport as well. We're playing the 1 Phantom Knights of Rank Up Magic Force. I put this in over the Dragoon engine because I prefer this, just because, again, it doesn't get you so many bricks, unlike the Dragoon engine, which gives you like 3 bricks. This only gives you the 1 brick, and it's also searchable through something like the Silent Boots and stuff like that. So it's a very, very good card to help you get into your Dark Rebellion and Dark Requiem stuff. It helps you get the Rusty Bardiche pop during your opponent's turn as well. This is why I kind of prefer this over the Dragoon engine, because yes, the Dragoon engine is good, but this can help you, play around the Forbidden Droplet and stuff like that as well, because you don't have to use it straight away. And then we have 1 Reinforcement of Armies because we're playing a shit ton of Warriors, and then 1 Called by the Grave just to fill out with our Crossout Designator. And then for our traps, we're playing the 3 Infinite Impermanents as our one of our hand traps there. And then we're playing 3 Phantom Knights of Fogblade. This is literally just a searchable Fiendish Chain, and that's why we're playing it. You can search it through Silent Boots effect. You can also set it through a Rusty Bardiche's effect as well. So this is just a very good card. Fiendish Chain is not a very good card, but if that card is searchable, you might as well play it because this card is very good. It also has the Graveyard effect to help you special summon more Phantom Knights from your graveyard as well. Again, we're playing 3 of this card, and this card is very good. We're playing 1 Shane Brigadine just to help you further extend here. This might be an odd inclusion since we're not playing the Dragoon engine, but there is a reason why I have it in here, and we'll get to that once we get to the extra deck. And then we also have the Phantom Knights of Wings. Honestly, this can be any Phantom Knight trap here if you want Phantom Knight. This can be, your Phantom Knight swords. It can be like just any Phantom Knight trap card that can banish from a graveyard. Honestly, probably swords is better than wings. So maybe playing the swords is better because the swords gives you a bigger attack boost than wings, but also still has that graveyard effect where you target a Phantom Knight card in the graveyard, banish it, banish this card, special summon it, and stuff like that. Honestly, just a trap card that gives you another way to special summon from the graveyard. That's all you need in this case there. But yeah, that is it for the entire main deck. Now let's get into the extra deck. We are playing Cherubini here, where it requires 2 level 3 monsters to go into here. this card is very good because it sends for cost, so it can't be negated, which is so brilliantly broken in some way. Holy shit, the fact that this thing is just send to graveyard as cost is absolutely just ridiculous. I cannot believe this card exists, but we're going to take it to our advantage. So, again, sends for cost is absolutely ridiculous. We have ourselves the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche here. Again, this is a very good card just to keep sending stuff and keep extending and stuff like that. During your main phase, you can send one Phantom Knights card from your deck to the graveyard, then set one Phantom Knight spell or trap from your deck. That's the reason why we're playing like 3 Fogblade, because you can send something like a Torn Scales to graveyard and set a Fogblade, which is very, very powerful, gives you a lot of advantage there. But its bottom effect is if a Dark XYZ monster is spell summoned to a zone this card points to, while this monster is on the field, target one card on the field, destroy it. That's actually very good, especially since we're playing the Phantom Knight Break to Magic's Force. We can get that triggered during the opponent's turn as well, which is very, very good. So yeah, and then we're playing Apollousa, Bow of the Goddess, and Boral Sword Dragon. If you want to play the access code engine, you can do this instead. You can play Nightmare and then access code. I don't have access code talker in real life, so I've been testing the deck without it. And honestly, I prefer this, and this is the reason why I kept Shane Brickadine in, is because Apollousa is still a very powerful card in this deck. You don't get locked into anything. The only thing that locks you into something is the Break Sword effect that locks you into a Dark Monsters for the rest of the turn, but which is fine because you don't really pull that out your first turn unless you're going for the Requiem play. But Apollousa is still a very, very powerful card. I really do like this card in the deck. It just helps you set up a better board and stuff like that. So I do like Apollousa in here. And the Bowl Sword just does the same thing as Access Code Talker, can help you go into OTKs and stuff. And you also have to consider that you can get the pops without Access Code Talker. Remember, you have Rusty Bardiche's effect where you can pop a card on field. You have Break Sword's effect that can pop cards on field. So it's not like there's no way to you pop cards besides Access Code Talker. You have other ways to do it. So this is just a more cheaper alternative to the Access Code Talker. But I do really like these links in the deck, though. But now onto the XYZ monsters, we have the 2 Phantom Knights of Break Sword. Again, once per turn, you can detach one material, target one card you control, and one card your opponent controls, destroy him. You're usually targeting himself because it gets his graveyard's effect, especially summon Phantom Knights back from the graveyard and make him level 4s to go into rank 4 place. But again, it's just a nice way to get cards off field and stuff like that and go into your rank 4 plays. We're playing 2 of it because this card is very broken. We're playing 2 Levier, the Sea Dragon. Again, a card that's not hard once per turn, can get your banished monsters back into cycle into your graveyard and can help you set up your F-Zero combos as well. Very, very good card. If you don't know the effect, once per turn, detach one material from this card, target a level 4 or lower monster in your banished area, spell summon that target to your field. A very, very good card. We're playing 1 Dark Rebellion and Dark Rebellion and 1 Dark Requiem. Again, this is just for that rank of Magic Force thing. Helps you set up the Rusty Bardiche pop during your opponent's turn and gets you a couple negations on board as well. So very, very, very good combo there. We're playing a Raiders Knight and an Arc Rebellion XYZ Dragon just for OTK purposes. Again, these both got reprinted in tin, so they're a lot more affordable as well. And then we got Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. Again, you're playing a shit ton of XYZ monsters, so it's good to play Zeus. Zeus is a very powerful card in the deck. I'm not playing like a downer or anything because you really don't need it. 1 Zeus is fine, like a 1 clear Zeus is fine by me. We have an F-Zero Utopic Future and F-Zero Utopic Draco Future. Again, you're playing the 2 Leviers to recycle your banished area. You can overlay them, go into an F-Zero, and then go to Utopic Future to have that negation as well. So that is it for the entire deck. Side deck, I'm playing Lancia, Droll, Nib, Forbidden Droplet, Lightning Storm, and the 1 red reboot to counter those back row decks. Only 2 Nibiru's. I feel like this card is slowly moving out of the meta. This deck definitely puts Nibiru back in the meta. But again, only playing 2. You only really need 1 in here to play with Crossout. And then I only play the other one just in case you play like Solomon Great or another Phantom Knight deck and stuff like that. I feel like Droll, Lockbird, and Artifact Lancia is a lot more impactful in this meta than what Nibiru can do. And again, you have Lancia in here because Crossout. You can only put 1. You can put 1 Lancia during your game 3 to make sure you have that Crossout target as well. Droplet just for going 2nd place, and then Lightning Storm and the red reboot if you verse the back row decks. So yeah, that's it for the entire main deck. So yeah, now let's get into the combo portion of the video. So now onto the combo portion of the video. Now this is going to be a couple of combo tutorials on what you can do. And this one, the first one here, we're going to be doing a tour guide from the underworld. This is just basically a one card starter and stuff like that. And just to prove it to you, I'm going to add some like worthless cards going like first here, like Effect Veiler. Like that really doesn't matter when you go first. We'll add like 3 Effect Veilers, and why not? Let's add ourselves like a regular Magic Force as well to our hand, just so you can show like this is our only play if you end up like starting off with your hand. So we'll go ahead and normal summon the tour guide from the underworld, declare the effect. We'll spell summon ourselves a graph, and again, this is just assuming if we're playing against no negations. This is just to show you what this one card combo can get you to. And then we'll go into a link to here, go into Rubini, and we'll do graphs effect here to special summon out Seer from deck. If find Seer here. Where is Seer? There it is. Spell summon out Seer, and then we'll do Cherubini's effect here, sending for cost. I'll actually send a Ancient Cloak to Graveyard here, because it can be any level 3 monster, which is pretty broken. And then we'll go into a Link 3 here. We'll go into a Rusty Bardiche, and then we'll do Seer's effect to summon back the Cherubini. And then we'll do Rusty's effect here. We'll send ourselves a Torn Scales to grave, and set ourselves a Fog Blade here. And then we'll go ahead and do Ancient Cloak's effect, banishing itself for cost to add a Phantom Knight card from your deck to your hand. We'll end up adding our Torn Scales here. There's one. And then we'll trigger not Torn Scales. We'll add Silent Boots and then trigger Torn Scales in Graveyard to spell summon himself back out. And then we'll do Silent Boots effect, since we do control a Phantom Knight card to spell summon. And then we'll do an overlay here. Make ourselves a before that, I'm fucking up here. Let me send these to grave. I was going way too fast here. Before you overlay, you want to do Torn Scales effect here. We'll discard Veiler, I guess. Veiler doesn't matter. We'll discard Veiler, do send a Gloves here. And then we'll go into an overlay here. Make ourselves a Levianeer. And then we'll do Levy's effect, detach Silent Boots, because we still haven't used its Graveyard effect. Summon out the Cloak in attack position. And then you want to do Cloak's effect, switch itself to defense to give Rusty 800 attack here. And then you do Gloves effect, banish itself to send a Phantom Knight card from deck to grave. We'll send Swords here. And then we'll banish the Swords to special summon out Silent Boots from grave. And then we'll overlay these two, make ourselves another Levianeer, because this is not a hard one's return. We'll declare the effect detach. Oh, did not mean to take off the counter there. Well, if it lets me detach the fucking card. Oh my god, let me take off that counter. Detach fucking Silent Boots. And then we'll spell summon out the Ragged Gloves here. And then here we'll go into an overlay of levies. We actually have to detach the regular monsters that were under it. Because that's just, I don't know what's the ruling on that, but that is the ruling for that. We'll do F0. And then we'll go into Utopic Future Dragon as well. And then here we'll actually do Silent Boots effect here, banishing itself for cost here. Or, yeah, well, it is cost, what am I saying? We'll do add the Shane Brigadine here. We'll set and then activate Shane Brigadine, since we have no traps in our graveyard. And then we'll go ahead and do all these 4 here to make ourselves an Apollousa. For 3 counters here. And then, yeah, so basically this is an alright board. You have a set Fog Blade with an F0, an Apollousa, and then you have follow-up for next turn as well with a Ragged Glove, Ancient Cloak, and a Torn Scales in your graveyard for just follow-up for your next turn. And again, these can be literally any random cards. I just made them worthless cards. Again, Veiler is good going if you end up passing with this. But yeah, just end up being worthless cards. So it ended up being a 1.5 card combo because you needed a card to discard with Torn Scales here. But yeah, that's basically just what your lineup's going for. You make either Apollousa or you make yourself the Rebellion here as well. So yeah, this is just a very simple setup there. Now let's get into just a starting hand with the deck. Okay, so we're going to do a starting hand here, and just to make it random, here you go. This is in the siding screen. I'm going to click Done Siding, and whatever hand they give me, I will deal with. We get a tour guide from the underworld straight away. Plus, oh wow, Emergency Teleport is fucking dead. Holy shit. Drew Tracker and the Wielder. Again, not bad. We'll go ahead and normal summon the Tour Guide. Again, this is just assuming we're playing no negations. Tour Guide effect here, we'll go ahead and get ourselves a graph. If I can find graph here. Spell summon the graph here. And then we'll go into a link to make ourselves the Cherubini. And we'll go Cherubini effect here. We'll send ourselves, let's send, we'll send Ancient Cloak if we can see it. Send the Ancient Cloak to grave. And then gains the attack. And then we'll do Seer's effect in hand here to spell summon themselves back out. And then we'll go into a link 3 into Rusty. Cannot trigger Seer's effect, unfortunately. We'll do Rusty's effect here. We'll send ourselves a Torn Scales to grave. And set ourselves a Fogblade. And then we'll do Ancient Cloak's effect here. Banishing itself for cost. And then getting ourselves a... If I can find... it's right there. Silent Boots. An emergency teleport has to be from hand or deck. Well, I don't really want to do it from hand, do I? We'll do Torn Scales effect engraved. Just re-spell summon himself back out. We'll do the effect. Discard the emergency teleport since it is fucking worthless right now. Send ourselves the gloves. If I can find gloves. Am I blind? No, it's right there. There's the gloves. And then we'll do, we'll save the Silent Boots for now. We'll spell summon the tracker here. And then we'll go into an overlay. Make ourselves the Levy here. We'll declare the effect. Doesn't really matter what we detach here. We'll summon back the Boots. And then again, we have already seen this lineup before. Switch to defense, make Rusty the attack. And then we'll do, here we'll actually spell summon the Boots here. And then we'll overlay these two. Make ourselves a Levianeer. Then we'll declare the effect of Levy here. Detach Ancient... Or no, we want to detach Silent Boots. But here it really doesn't... Oh, I've actually fucked up. That's an illegal activation there, actually. Because I don't have anything in the banished area. What was I thinking? But we can get things in the banished area. We'll banish Ragged Gloves for the effect here. Send ourselves the swords. And then we'll declare the effect. We'll detach Boots instead. Because Boots still haven't been activated. Summon out the gloves. And then we will detach these two, since we are going to overlay these. We'll overlay it over under Rusty. Go into F0. And then do Utopic Future as well. And then we still have some plays here. We actually have a shit ton of plays we can do here. We still have a wielder, so we'll just use the wielder in hand here. So we do control at level 3. Overlay these, go into a break sword here. We will trigger Rusty's effect. We'll pop the break sword. We'll trigger break sword's effect. We'll summon the gloves and I guess cloak, because cloak doesn't matter. And then we'll overlay these two. We'll make them both level 4s here. So we'll go into a 4, make ourselves an Arc Rebellion here. And then here we'll just banish ourselves the Silent Boots and search ourselves the Ring of Magic Force. And then we'll set one. We'll pass to our opponent here. So, you know, no Appaloosa, but it still ends up working. We have a negation with Draco Future. We have a Fogblade as well. We have Rank Up Magic Force here. To, let's say we activate it. We'll banish some random ass dark monster. We'll banish Graph here. And we'll go into Requiem. If we make Requiem, not only do we get the pop off Rusty Bardiche, because a Dark XYZ monster will spell summon to a zone he points to, we'll also get a 3 negations with Dark Requiem as well. This is why I feel like this deck can do very, very good. It doesn't like keep hand advantage, which is why I don't like playing the Dragoon Engine as well, because it doesn't really keep the hand advantage. But I really like, this is still like a fucking decent board as well. Plus the Fogblade and stuff. You won't have that much follow-up. I guess you still have the Break Sword in Graveyard here, just for, I mean, summon like a Break... Or you have the swords that can summon Break Sword, and then you trigger Torn Scales and stuff like that. Again, you just still have great follow-up with your Graveyard and stuff like that. Very good. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel. I do try to upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.